the evening. It is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville, and it is on the cool side. It is cold.
Yes, it is.
And, this has got to be some crazy kind of weather when it goes from being hot one day to being windy to being rainy, then to being cold and rainy. But it's Brownsville weather for you.
And usually that's how April is. I recall April's usually, rains a little, gets cool, and then it changes.
April showers bring May flowers. Good evening. Good. Let me say, one of the things that I think it's just very frequently shifting, like a lot of the momentum going on in politics here locally. There's been a lot of shift, and let me say one of the things that, and I'll start off, and I'm going to let Kathy take over because yeah, I've shared my experience from last night, and I'd love for Kathy to share her experience from one night. But let me say, guys, I was on a high last night after the Brownsville Police Officers Association forum, and I was on a high because I felt that the individuals there uh, realized that what we've had has not worked for us, and it's time for something different, something new, something a little bit more aggressive, something a little bit more with teeth instead of lip service. Because I think what a lot of the individuals here in the city of Brownsville are tired of, and let me say, I'm going to say that I think the Brownsville Police Officers Association are tired of it, of the lip service that we all as a community, especially our first responders, have been receiving from these same politicos and these same people in these same groups, Kathy.
You are correct. That is what I got. That's what I gathered from the information and the feedback. They are just disgusted. They're tired. They keep giving people the opportunity to serve, and there's really no service. In other words, they're really not servicing the community the way they say, and they're just disgusted. I mean, I felt the tension. I felt of how just some of them, the way they were looking, like really like another group, and here we go again, and so because unfortunately we've had so many instances where we have elected certain people or individuals, and they don't follow through. It's all about them or their personal agendas, and it's so unfortunate, and we all suffer. The city has suffered because of that. And I guess when they endorse as officers, they're endorsing these candidates, but at the same time, these candidates, we know that. I'm going to be very honest with you. Jessica Tetro has always been someone that has gotten to them, and will and deal, and come on, and this pretty face, guys. It's not about a pretty face. It's about an intellectual individual that brings the knowledge, that can make a difference, that can challenge the issues. I keep telling people, it's not about a pretty face. It's not about being handsome. It's about who's going to roll up their sleeves, who's going to go into the city, who's going to do the work that needs to get done. We have to be creative. We have to have a vision. We have to have a vision of what we want Brownsville to be, and what are we going to bring for the community. And if we don't have the right group elected that can work together as a team and that can get things done, we're going to be back to square one again. That it is what it is, guys. Unfortunately, it
And
is so depressing.
it is, and it'd be very, very unfortunate that when we are so close to taking a step forward, we find ourselves taking a couple steps back. So I'm hopeful. Give us a rundown, Kathy, of what happened yesterday, so people can get another perspective of what happened at the forum.
Well, I'm going to say to the community that all candidates did attend, which was really good, because I don't think that they were expecting for all of us to attend. And it was like every person that had to be, eh, you know, showed up. And then they asked us to introduce ourselves, right? Which we all did. Um, at the point that
they didn't have any questions. But if you would have been there, the way the people were speaking, you would have said, "What is this? What is going on?" You know, because when I got out of there, I thought about how, you know, what everybody said, how they expressed themselves. Some of them were just like they had read their script. I'm gonna tell you, some of them like, unfortunately, not guys. When we represent you guys, we have to know what we're talking about. We have to know the issues. We have to know our town. Literally, we have to know what's going on in our community. What, when you have people that are going to get elected, this is not on the job training. You cannot elect somebody that's going to start from scratch and doesn't know what's going on. So, I think that what needs to happen here after what we heard last night as candidates, which was I was like, oh my God, this group is very upset and they're done. They're done. Literally, they're done.
Yes. Let me say, the same, and I think I shared this last night and this morning. That was exactly the feel that we were getting from candidates. And let me say, it's very, very telling, guys, because one of the things that I've learned from being in forums, and I've been in several of them, and let me say, I've not only been in several of them, but I feel that I can excel in forums. I know my stuff. I'm not going to go into a forum where I don't know the subject matter, and I'm going to say, "Well, we'll see what happens." Not gonna see what happens. Nobody wants to hear. Well, let's see what happens if I get elected. People want to say, "What are you going to do for me?" And that's what the individuals that are going to be assertive, and going to be to the point and say, "This is exactly what we plan to do with you." And again, I felt that throughout the opening statements. They went typical all the way down through. Everyone spoke after the opening statements. I didn't hear back from Commissioner Cowan. Zero. Nothing. He just sat there like un niño regañado. Nothing.
You know that people are just, I think everybody, we're all disgusted with that. That's the reason why I decided to step up to the plate, because I'm like, okay, so here I am, a citizen that knows what's going on. And the sad part is, can you imagine the citizens that are busy working, trying to make a living, trying to keep a home together, trying to provide for their family, and they don't have the time that we have, right? I mean, we give ourselves that time because we feel it's necessary, and we're doing it for the people. I know I'm doing it for the people. I'm not doing it because of me. I can tell you, like I told the police department last night, I'm doing this because I care. And I'm giving the people the opportunity to have a good leader, someone that's going to be outspoken, someone that's going to challenge the issues all the time, not just one time. But like the police officer said, I mean, the police officer that finally I commended him. I mean, I was happy he called everybody out. Like, we
Yeah,
keep, I was not upset. I was not upset, and I was happy.
because they needed to know what exactly is going on and how
she might be skipping to.
community. We're seeing that throughout the community as to what is, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of my car, and so it's a little dark. So we're starting to see, I mean, I know that I've heard from the entire, from all over the community where I've been walking and visiting people. It's like, well, they're always doing this to us, and everybody's the same, and everybody's going to do this to us. No, we're all individual people, and we're all individual minds, and we bring to you what others probably haven't brought to you. It's not going to be easy for us. If
No.
we get elected, we have a lot of work to do. We have so much work to do that it's not just the paving of the streets. It's not just the drainage. It's so many other things that are going on in the city that unfortunately they've been let go too long.
Well, one.
Administration, I mean, was probably not doing what they're supposed to be doing, unfortunately. So we have to go in there with an open mind that we need to know what the budget, where we stand. Because last night we had a candidate, right? The candidate kept on saying, what did he keep on saying throughout the conversation? We, it was a we,
Oh,
and he's a candidate. How can
that,
he be a we? We approve the budget,
that
you
was
know?
Brian Martinez, and,
Huh?
Brian Martinez, and it was really unfortunate because one of the things that I think I'd made mention is there were actually four sitting city commissioners there yesterday, and five if you count Brian, because he considers himself a commissioner, because he was out there saying, "Well, we passed this, we did this, and we've done this," and we're like, uh, "You're not a commissioner, son. You're not a commissioner. You supposedly work for one of our sitting commissioners as the chief of staff. You're not a commissioner." And again, I like Brian, nothing against the kid, but again, you're not a commissioner. Don't take credit for something that you did not do, and were not a part of, because that is not your job. We did not elect a chief of staff. We elected Commissioner Roy de los Santos. And again, nothing against Brian. It just sounded uh, the schematics of it just sounded horrible.
And
And yeah,
I guess because somebody asked me, okay, so, and this is what they asked me, and I said, they asked me, well, who are you affiliated to in the political arena? And I said, my political arena is just the citizens of Brownsville. They're the ones that should have the power to remove us and elect us. They're supposed to be by our side with us, and we're supposed to be with them all the time. It's not about, okay, well, because he's my buddy, I am going to be able to, do what he wants or what he tells me. Sometimes when you have two people together all the time, how are they going to vote? They're not going to vote different. I can assure you that. They're going to vote the same way that they both feel, because they're loyal to each other, not loyal to the citizens of Brownsville. And the loyalty is supposed to be to the citizens, because you elected us. And we're supposed to be ethical also. You know, some of these people, like my one of the candidates that's running in the seat, Linda Macias, she's still in Brownsville community, right? And she has not left.
PCIC.
Yeah, and she should have left. And she should have resigned. You know, it's unfortunate. So if they do that to you before they even get elected, what makes you think that they're going to care about what you think once they get elected?
Yeah, not so much. Not so much, because see, the antemano, you're seeing a lot of this is about me and what I've done instead of what we can do together. And this is one of the things that I hope that we convey to the police officers. Yeah, look, we are in such a mess, guys. It's like the zoo. And I made mention of the zoo last night. We are in such a mess that it's going to, we have to save it. We have no option. We have to save it. But it's going to cost us so much, because if they would have taken care of business back then, it wouldn't hurt so much right now. It's the same thing with our police officer benefits, guys. Same thing. If they hadn't screwed around with your contract and hadn't started to nitpick and take away and quitar,
Little by little. They
little
did
by
it
little,
little
your
by little.
benefits, if they would have maintained and added on, we'd be in a better place. And it wouldn't be that expensive in order to get us where we need to be. But as it is right now, and I think this is one of the things, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Kathy. This is one of the things that I think that why they asked the next question. Well, the only question that they asked was, how do you plan to pay for our benefits? And I said simple, and I gave my answer very, very simple. We got to go out looking at the city manager's office, and I used as an example. We're paying them $1.2 million in salaries a year for 5 people, and they're still looking for 2 people in there. 1.2, and we still have to go out there and hire consultants for $2.3 million. Why do we have to hire consultants, Kathy, when we've got supposedly high paying individuals earning $1.2 million at the city manager's office? Well, there's a savings. And then my other one, look at all these projects that they've pocketed all this money from, like Tanasca. You're trying to tell me that $179 million couldn't gone to a better place here in the city of Brownsville instead of the pockets of the politicos, the consultants, and the contractors out there? Of course it can, but it's not going to happen until we get individuals in there that are going to overturn the tables, going to call them out on their crap, and say no more pet projects until we can get our police officers their benefits back.
And you know that those benefits, they've already served, they've done their they've served us, and they've risked their lives. And for somebody not to care enough to say, wait a minute, this is not what we're supposed to be doing, wait a minute, no, this belongs to them, this is an incentive for them that we are obligated to give them, so when they retire they're going to be okay. The insurance for the family, I mean, and I let me tell you, I was married to a police officer. I felt the hit. I felt the blow, because at one point that insurance was not what it used to be when I was part of the BA with the police department, with the city police and public works. I know that their insurance was a great insurance at one point with great benefits, but then all of a sudden they started to, I guess the right people were not elected, or the people that didn't care enough to say, hey, wait a minute, you don't go there, you don't touch that. You see, as your city commissioners and as the mayor, you tell your city manager and the staff, you need to know, you need to give us the numbers so we can see what we're going to be voting for, yay or nay. And if you don't know your job, Mr. or Mrs. City Manager, then we don't need you here.
Adios.
We don't need you here.
Hit
The
the road.
reason why we have so many consultants, it's because they probably don't know their job, their job duties or their job descriptions. They don't have the knowledge in that area. So what do? Oh, let's go and get a consultant. We'll pay them this amount of money just so they can come and tell us what we need to do.
Well, what's pathetic, Kathy, is that I'm going to say 90% of the time, those consultants are compadres. And that's how, and a lot of the times, guys, these compadres are the ones that put money into the campaigns of these politicos. So we're paying it back. Look, our opponents who are in a slate, going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on this race. Who's going to pay for those hundreds of thousands of dollars? The answer is very simple. It's you and me, and the police officers, and the firefighters, and everybody else. We're going to pay because one way, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. These people are going to get their money back. And the commissioners and the mayors who were supported by all these special interests, they expect their money back. They have to pay the piper. And we suffer because instead of using those resources to help the community and our police officers' benefits and the contract for the firefighters and EMS guys, it goes into the pockets of the consultants. And again, I can prove this, guys. I can prove it by bringing out the audit report, and you could see how much money these pieces of crap took from the people of Brownsville. To the point, Kathy, that John Cowan, Jessica Tetrow, and Shirley Linda Macias, who's in a slate with all these people, they say that they're going to try and return 29 million of your dollars. And let me tell you, I'm going to fight to get you every single dime back of the $179 million that they took from us. They stole from us. They pocketed it from us. It's that simple. I am not content. Do not be content with 29 million. That is pennies on the dollar. They took 179. They better give us back 179. And then we need to go out there and look at every single pet project out there where they pocketed the money that should have gone to the people of Brownsville and return every dime to the people of Brownsville.
You know what really bothers me the most is that, look at how long it took for them. And it took because of the pressure that people were continuing to ask Tanasca, Tanasca, Tanasca. This project didn't start 3, 4 years ago. This project was not from 3 to 4 years ago. This project was from prior years, what, 2007, 2008? And then what? We're in 2022 when all this started to, they
Go up.
felt pressure and more pressure. And then, now we're in 2023. And, you know, it is just so sad, guys. I mean, I know that as a citizen, I value myself. And I know that we deserve better. We deserve more. We deserve to be respected, and we deserve to have the best of the best, and not shortchange. We pay all this amount of money and all of a sudden it doesn't work out. It didn't, it didn't do its job, or we just didn't get the best product. No, guys, that, why they keep doing this? Because they think that we forget. And I've heard some people say, oh, people forget, they reelect us, don't worry, keep your mouth shut. I've heard elected officials say that. So guess what, guys? Enough is enough. I'm tired. I am so disgusted with everything, and it's time after time after time. And it's like the sportsplex. I myself don't understand how that place is not bringing in any revenue. It's doing nothing.
Losing money.
It's losing money because we're having to sustain it, and not even like that. I don't think they have toilet paper in the restroom. Most of the time they don't have soap. That, I mean, it is just, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. Nobody's really paying attention to what's going on.
No, and it's really unfortunate. But again, I think going back into the sentiment, guys, I think the sentiment of the people has changed, and there is a shift. And we'll see. I have never been hopeful about receiving an endorsement, uh, except now. I feel that we are on a good path, not only to receive the Brownsville police officer's endorsement, but on the right path to get every single citizen here in the city of Brownsville's endorsement. Because the sentiment that was shared to us last night is indicative of their families, their relatives, and their neighbors. Because when individuals, Kathy, when individuals are upset about a situation, they don't keep it inside; they share it. And do y'all honestly think that a lot of our police officers, haven't told their families how horribly they've been treated by these sitting city commissioners?
It's I think it's come to the point where the respect and is no longer there. They don't respect the citizens. They don't respect the city, the needs of the city. It's just gone. It's too long that we've wasted so many years that they've just we're in a stage of distress. I feel that the city is in a stage of distress. We focused on other areas, such as like your downtown. All of a sudden they went in because I mean, it started booming as soon as this mayor went in. And but guys, let me tell you, he's going to have a state of the art um event. He's Before he leaves, he's going to say his goodbyes and say what he's done and his accomplishments and accolades and where this city is heading towards. I think it's in April that they're going to have that event, right? Have
The
you seen it?
state of the city.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that a lot of people, first of all, I don't know why the hell they're charging people in Brownsville $50 to go hear these people speak. We should all have access to being present at the state of our city if we want to go. Don't have to pay for it. We've already paid for the building. We've already paid for all the hors d'oeuvres that they're going to have. Why do we have to pay another $50? But these little state of the union, state of the city events are mostly done to pat each other on the back, like we've done such a great job, or we're doing great, everything's wonderful. And it is not indicative of the sentiment that exists right now in the city of Brownsville. It does not reflect the yearns, the concerns of ordinary Brownsville residents. Let me tell you, Kathy, when that police officer stood up and said that, you know, doesn't know how they're going to pay for cancer treatments, Kathy, that hurt.
Oh yes.
That hurt because the four sitting commissioners that were there last night and Brian, the fifth city commissioner, should be ashamed of themselves because I don't know if they've gone through cancer or had anyone close to them go to cancer. It's not a thing, a light, una cosa liviana. It's not something light, guys. It is devastating. The last thing that you want to consider when you're fighting cancer, guys, is how you're going to pay for it. And for a police officer, Brownsville police officer, to stand before the individuals like Jessica Tetreault and John Cowan that took the benefits away from our first responders took a lot of umph in them to go out there and state, "How are we going to pay for my wife's cancer treatment?" And they don't care. They don't care about the police officers. They don't care about normal citizens of Brownsville. They only care about protecting that 1%, the same group that continues to be on all these boards and committees that continue to pocket the resources that should go for those cancer treatments, Kathy.
Well, if they don't care for this, for the employees of the city of Brownsville, the employees that are the ones that are, you know, working for our city, what makes you think they're going to care for the citizens?
Well,
I
they
mean,
don't.
it's beyond me. If they don't take care of their people, you know, with their salaries and their benefits and their retirement plans and everything, what does that tell us? That they don't, their care is not, we as humans or as citizens or employees are not their priority. There's other priorities when they get elected. I'm going to tell you, I am ready to roll up my sleeves. I'm ready to go out and work, do what I have to do, ask the questions, look at the budget, question the areas of the budget, um, you know, hold people accountable, hold myself accountable, because I should be responsible for my actions if I do or don't do. And at the end of the day, we are public servants, and we're supposed to be. We chose to get on this path, and we chose to be a part of it. And if we get elected, our job is to understand that we're supposed to do what's best for the citizens.
100%. And again, guys, again, folks, I was blown away, Kathy. Blown away.
Yesterday, I was not expecting that. I mean, I was in shock when when the police officer said what he said, and he used a word that he wasn't very happy to use, but he had to use it,
But it was the appropriate word.
and it was the appropriate word. I mean, I don't think anybody else could have said any better, but you could see and feel his frustration, and you can feel the force, the police officers there, the firefighters were also there, and they're disgusted when somebody has dedicated 30 years of their lives to work for the community, and then they tell them, oh, you know what, you're not going to have insurance when you retire. Or, you know what? Guess what? Your retirement fund, it's been depleted.
Well,
You know, it's pretty depressing, guys. I mean, I walked out of there and I was, I, I, I
well,
don't know what these elected officials, honestly, I know what they haven't really been doing much. They haven't really been, you know, representing us. They do little here and there, and they expect for us to go, wow, whoopee, let's get excited, and let's, you know, let's be behind them and make sure they come back. Guys, this is a very important election, guys. Talk about it. Make noise. Start with your family. Start with your friends. I know it's hard when you don't know the people and it's hard for you to tell them, hey, can you go out and vote? Or I know it's not as easy when you have a family member or a friend and say, hey, did you go vote? Hey, consider this person. They're outspoken. Sometimes people say they're all the same. No, please do not categorize me as being the same. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'm not liked much because I'm very vocal. But that's what we need. We need people that are going to be doers, doers, you know? And it's about you. It's about every citizen that needs change. And we need to do it for the betterment of Brownsville. Brownsville is a beautiful city. Somewhere, somehow, it went south. It went south. I'm coming back again to run for District 2. This is my second time, and God willing, we go in there, we ask the right questions, we hold people accountable, and we move this city in the right direction. There's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done.
Well, let me tell you, what really bothers me, Kati, was the way that they did it, the sneaky way that they did it, because they had come to an agreement. And then at the end, once they went and reached out to the attorney said, nope, commission is not going to go that route unless you take less benefits. And they were caught between a rock and a hard place because they either took the measly penance that they were given or they were going to have nothing, Kati.
Wow.
So they were forced into taking something that they had not agreed to, that they had not, you know, gotten together and already had gotten approved. Because if you, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Kati, not one single commissioner there, and Brian, not one single one responded to their benefits getting screwed over. Not one.
And you know what? It, you know, it it's a shame because they do support these people and they expect and they give them the opportunity, and then what happens? Nothing. They comes to their bargaining about their salaries and their benefits, and they have these elected officials have no shame. Where's the no? Don't touch that. That is what they deserve, and that is what belongs to them. Do not remove those benefits from them. I know that this started to happen 13 years ago because my ex-husband, had insurance for my two boys, and then I had to put him under the BISD plan because my husband was teaching at Hannah at that time. And I'll never forget, my husband said, what's going on? Why isn't he paying for the, well, you don't know, but it's the bargaining stage, and the insurance is not going to be as good as what we have it. And I think, unfortunately, insurances come in and it's a buddy system also offering insurance. And that's the problem too, as it is the lobbyist up there at the state level and national level. They start, insurances, they can be sharks out there, and they don't care.
They
They
don't
get
care.
their money and that's it. But where are we to start doing the questioning and asking the administration, like the city manager, say, hey, 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 do you know your stuff? Because if you don't know your stuff, then you don't belong here. We need to make sure that we got the best of the best insurance policy for our employees so they can benefit from that. If we're paying, or if they're paying, whatever it is, portion, if we pay a portion or they pay, it better be the best of the best. If not, you're not allowed to come in and provide that service or that insurance for our employees.
Well,
Whereas the people are supposed to be asking the hard questions and putting our foot down.
well, one of the things that I think, look, we have to have pride in our community, and that pride is based on taking care of those that cannot, well, don't have the power to take care of themselves, but also to take care of those that serve us, and taking care of those that can't take care of themselves. So, how do you expect us to be all? And look, this is one of the things that really amazes me. How do they expect, Kati, for our police officers, and I'm using that as an example, for our police officers to go like, yes, I'm excited about this race. I'm excited that we have a commissioner that now is running for mayor, two commissioners running for mayor. Yes. Do they expect them to be like ecstatic about it? Excited about it? How? You just screwed them. I'm surprised that they had the nerve to even go to the forum. And then La Lambiscona, la blue dress queen, goes up there and endorse me, endorse me. I want your endorsement. Endorse me, endorse me. Shut up. And this is what I saw on the face of the police officer there. Oh, now you're asking for stuff. You're asking for something. What about when we were asking for something and you shot us the finger? That's the expression on their face when she was out there. Give me your endorsement. Give me your endorsement. Where was that, Jessica? When the police officers were asking for their benefits that we owe them already. Where?
And the sad part is that, there's so much deception out there. She portrays to be this, really,
Well,
that she can get it done. No, no, we really can't go that route again. People, please pay very close attention. It's really this, believe it or not, the city needs good leaders. The city needs people that are going to really be your warriors and stand up for what's right, and challenge the issues, and be transparent, and communicate with the citizens of Brownsville and the employees of the city as well. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I was putting up signs and I had some employees. I know how the city works because I used to work there. So I told them, just maintain your distance. Don't worry. Somebody can be driving with a phone and they'll screen, shoot a picture. And I don't want you to get in trouble. Just from where you're at, just whatever you want to say, I can hear you, but stay away from me because I don't want you to get in trouble. I'm not even their leader yet. And here I am taking care of them as a citizen because I know how the system works. you know I know that sometimes, if they're trying to say something, because the administrators, sometimes they're going to say, oh no, we have no trouble, everything is really honky-dory, it's really nice, I mean, you know
everything's right.
yeah, there's no problems, we have no issues, but we do have issues within the city.
Well, one of the things that I mentioned to a couple of police officers that asked me, I said, look, guys, one of the things that I was very well known for while I was at the district, I would sit with everyone, because they expect you to sit, here with the with the superintendent's table, and they got these files. When I would go to a school, I wouldn't go straight to the principal's office. I'd go to sign in, but I'd go straight to the cafeteria workers. I'd go to the custodial staff, to the people that take care of our grounds. I went and I sat and I talked to them because they were going to tell us the nitty gritty, what was really going on. And they would surprise. And they told me that's what we have never had a board member that comes and sits here nomás para platicar con nosotros at certain schools. And let me tell you guys, I did this at all times. I don't plan to be a mayor that goes out there and says, hey, Helen, how's everything going? Because she's going to tell me what, Kathy, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. And I'm going to go like, I'm doing my job. Everything's great. No, I'm going to go to the police officers, going to go to the firefighters. I'm going to go to my employees that work there at City Plaza. I'm going to go to every single department and said, how can I help you while you help the citizens of Brownsville? Because those people, Kathy, those people have the answers, not the bigwigs that are getting the big
No,
wigs.
it's the people below them, because the people that are making, the administrators will not, that very seldom you have an administrator that really cares and that's going to take care of their staff. Very seldom. It's a very small percentage. But when you go, if you ask the city manager all the time, well, the city manager wants her job or his job, right? He's the one, because it's the citizens, right? The citizens are above us that elect us, and then it's us, the leaders, and it's the city manager, right? And then their staff, their administration. And you ask the city manager, oh, how's everything going? What are they going to say? Oh, it's going great.
Amazing.
Everyone's happy. Oh my God. And then they, and they expect for us to believe that. Mm-mm.
It's not enough. God, do you plan on doing talk shows like this after the election? And that was the future of what a politician should be: elected, engage with people through social media, plus videos and Facebook. Kathy, do you plan to be
Yes, I'm gonna. I already promised myself, and I've already told friends and family. Yes, I'm gonna have my own talk show, and during the week, I'm gonna probably have it once a week, and twice a week, maybe the most, because I have quite a bit going on, and if I'm gonna dedicate myself also to the community, definitely I want them to know what's going on in my district and what's going on within the city itself. And I think that that's the best form nowadays of communication and reaching out to our citizens through podcasts. Yeah. And I will engage with other podcasts. Maybe like Erasmo can invite me, or I can invite him to my website or podcast, and so
100%?
we can get it going.
I'll
Yep.
be there every time I get invited, and Kathy knows, and everyone knows. Open platform. Anybody wants to come on? Look, I've said this. If Trey Mendez wants to come on, if John Cowan wants to come on, if La Jessica wants to come on, I'll have them on. I have nothing to hide. I don't shy back from anyone, because let me tell you guys, it's like when Manny was having his show out there, and Manny said, "Hey, will you come on and speak with Roy de las Chanclas?" I said, "Hell yes, I'll go out there. I have nothing to hide, guys." And I am as transparent as day. And let me tell you one thing. One thing that I told the police officers is last night is, we have the facts. You cannot negate that which is our facts. And like I stated before, someone please prove me wrong. You prove me wrong, me cae el hocico. Just prove me wrong, and I'll shut up. Simple as that. But they can't, because the proof is in the pudding. They've taken from our firefighters, they've taken from our EMS, they've taken from our police officers, and they've taken from every single citizen in the city of Brownsville. And
And
they've
they've
made,
taken us for a ride.
yeah, taking us for a ride, and they've made themselves all the more richer. That's why they're desperate to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, like Jessica, John, Linda Macias, all these people. They want to continue to take this community on a ride. And it is up to our police officers, firefighters, and every single community member out there, EMS, everyone, to throw them the finger. Shoot them the finger, guys, because they've been shooting you the finger for the past 4 years and for the past 12 years.
You know that somebody asked me the other day. It was a citizen, and I went to go. I was asking for permission to put up a sign, and the, he asked me. He says, "How do you feel about the mayor?" And he said, "Be honest." And I said, "I'm going to be honest. He doesn't impress me. I don't think he really has done much for the city. I think he's self-served himself. He's benefited from it. He went in 4 years in and out. He did what he wanted to do, and out he goes." That's what it was.
100%. Carlos Cascos. Let me tell you, I appreciate Carlos Cascos' input and guidance throughout this race. I appreciate Carlos Cascos' posts out there in regards to fighting against this salary that John and Jessica put on the agenda. I'm glad someone needed to. Y el Cowan playing Loteria with the Southmost, más lambiscon you can't get, man. Yeah, that never happened,
You,
and it
you
doesn't.
know that the issue about getting paid, first of all, who asked them to run to begin with? Who asked them to put their name on the ballot and that you get them elected, and then they say, we need to get paid for the service? It's public service. We would be the only ones in the valley to get paid. I'm against it, guys. I'm against it. Trust me, I'm against getting paid.
I miss the good old debates. Me too. But we are having another one at Cobbleheads on April the 4th at noon. You better believe I'm going to be there. We're going to have another one on the 13th at 8 o'clock in the morning. You better believe I'm going to be there. I think that's a mayoral one, Kathy.
Yeah.
But if y'all can make it, that'd be great.
Last
And
night, when they said, when the president of the Police Officer Association said, "Does anybody have questions?" I think that the officers showed us that they were so disgusted, you know, so disgusted with everything that they didn't even want to ask questions.
yeah, they didn't. And no one refuted. No one refuted anything that was said last night. All I hear is helping todavía más tax dollars employees. What about helping the tax dollar payers? Helping everyone, guys. Let me, and this is one of the things that I made mention last night. If we're not taking care of our police officers, we're not taking care of our firefighters. You better believe they're not taking care of the regular citizens, normal citizens out there. Because if you take care of one, you'll take care of the other. And we'll take care of each other, guys. Let me tell you, we need to get back that money. Because bitch better have my money. Every dime, every $179 million return to the people of Brownsville. That's how we're going to help the community by
Wh-
putting the resources that
You know that we are emphasizing that we care about the citizens, and we are going to do what is best for everybody, for the citizens, for the employees. That's why I keep saying there's a lot of work that needs to get done. There's a lot of work that has not been done, and they've lost the entire focus of what their duties were really for this entire city. And I mean, the roads are horrendous. I mean, it doesn't matter what street you go through. It's bad. It's a bad road. Taxes, they keep going up because they don't know how. They overspend. They abuse our taxpayers' dollars. Somebody's not paying attention. But when we go to vote, let's pay attention to whom we elect.
yes.
That's the problem. Don't
Uh,
vote for people because they're your buddies or they're your family members. Hey, I had somebody tell me, "Well, I'm your buddy. I'm not gonna vote for you because you're my buddy. I don't think you're cut for the job. You're not gonna do the job that I expect for you, that I need for you to do as a taxpayers."
uh, did she address the video? She did not. And the video is a recording. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, Kathy. Is a recording where Jessica Tetro is out there, you know, putting political pressure on the police chief to get her way, because that's the kind of crap she does. And no, but let me tell you guys, I know for a fact that most police officers out there, they saw the video, they heard the video, the audio. She should not be elected. Dale un like on YouTube page, guys. Please, if you're on YouTube, I can't watch it because now I've got a camera system. But, but if you do have a, please like that damn channel. Costa for mayor, Prestas Garcia for commissioner. Preach. We can do that.
Yep. Spread the
Uh,
word, guys. Spread the word. Spread the word.
guys, 35 people out there watching. Please, please, please like that YouTube channel. It makes me cash and it can't hurt. It's about starting with the basics and doing a good job at it. This will give constituents the confidence to keep you on board for a second term to keep working. And let me tell you guys, uh, I plan to serve as mayor 2 terms, and then I'm out. If I can't get it done in 2 terms, don't deserve there to be a third. And
Exactly.
so let me tell you guys, if I don't do a good job in the first 4 years that I'm there, you don't have to worry about me. Uh, you don't have to worry about me as the seeking reelection. It's not going to happen. I plan to get to work on day one, guys, and I am going to keep my word. I'm going to fight to wipe all those boards and committees of all these ratas. I'm going to go out there and fight to get those $179 million back to every single dime back. I don't care. And put safeguards in place so this never ever happens again. And get our police officers their benefits, and fix our infrastructure. And everybody else, though, their benefits. No, they're not. They're not happy. No to Cowan, to Cho, Villarreal, and Macias. I would like to see everyone get lie detector and drug test, see where those mamados, who's mamando or text. Me too. Kathy, any last words?
Yeah, that let's go out there, guys. Start asking people to please get ready. Early voting starts real soon, April 24th. We have April 24th through May 2nd. Let's talk about early voting so we can start preparing the people to go in and vote early, please, guys. It is an important election. A lot of people are discouraged, but please, we can't be discouraged. We just need to keep it moving and get the right people in there. You guys, have a great evening for whatever it's left. Tomorrow, have a great day. Stay positive, and let's get this done.
Let's get her done. Jennifer
Hi,
Stanton.
Miss Staten.
Guys,
Okay.
have a great evening, guys. See you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Guys, be good to each other.
Good night. Bye
Peter,
bye,
God
everybody. Stay
bless.
safe.
Bye.